Gather round, children, gather round, it's story time! And I'm gonna be reading a story from Embarrassing Things I Have Done and Want to Forget, But Can't, a novel by me. Let's see. Oh, there are some good ones in here. Oh, here it is. The time that I could try to convince everyone I was a witch. So, let's preface this a little bit. I was 8 years old and I was living in a town called Buffalo, Texas, and this was a very small conservative highway town that had like 3 stoplights, and the most exciting thing that happened was getting a new restaurant. I was kind of a square peg in a round hole in this town because I had a very active imagination, and as an 8-year-old, you don't really realize that you're not supposed to mix fantasy and reality, but I did it every single day. Every waking moment I was living in a fantasy world, and I was happy there. This was also about the time that the first Harry Potter book came out, and that book changed my life. I don't really remember what kind of books I liked to read before Harry Potter, but from the moment that I read the first page of that book, my entire life was changed. It was a whole new world that I got to fantasize in, and it was amazing. For this particular story, I was sitting in the bus line waiting to go home, and it's all the grades waited in the same line. It wasn't like separated by grades. It was just whoever got there first, you sat down and there you were. So I think I was actually reading the Harry Potter book, and this kid that lived in my neighborhood sat down behind me, and I think he was actually a year older than me, and he started making fun of me. And I don't know if he was making fun of me reading the book or my buck teeth or my glasses or my hair or something stupid. He's a boy and he's 9 years old. Who knows? I distinctly remember turning around, and closing my book, looking at him dead in the eye and saying, "If you don't stop making fun of me, I'm gonna turn you into a frog." I don't really know if it's because he didn't know how to respond to what I was saying, or if he was genuinely scared that I was gonna turn him into a frog, because he stopped making fun of me. It clicked in my head that if I started telling people that I would turn them into things, or that I would Avada Kedavra them, that they would leave me alone. And I didn't make the connection that this was something that I probably shouldn't have been saying out loud. I pretty much kept up this charade for several weeks, and I had a few of my friends convinced that I actually was a witch, with no proof whatsoever. But as kids, if you're like, "Yeah, I'm a witch and I'm gonna turn you into a bat," they're like, "Oh no, don't turn me into a bat," and they run away. By that time, it caught the attention of my teacher and my vice principal and my principal. And one day I got called into the principal's office. I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't get in trouble. I made good grades. I had good attendance. So I was a little bit concerned as to why they were calling me into the principal's office, not realizing that me telling kids that I was gonna, poof them out of existence was the reason why. My homeroom teacher and my vice principal and the principal were all standing around, and I remember feeling like I was 5 inches tall, and they were like, "Why are you telling people that you're gonna turn them into frogs, and what does Avada Kedavra mean, and where are you picking this all up from?" And they were very concerned, like almost as concerned if I had said, "I'm gonna shoot people at school." And it was just so weird to me, because I was trying to tell them, I was like, "I'm not really gonna do that stuff. I'm not really a witch." And they were like, "Well, we're really concerned, and some of the kids are a little bit scared, and I think maybe we should call your mom." And for anybody ever anywhere who was in school, calling your mom was the ultimate no-no. If you got in trouble, they don't call my mom. For heaven's sakes, nail me upside down in the dungeons and smack my face, but don't call my mom, please. And so I begged them with every inch of my being, "Please don't call my mom. I'll stop telling people that I'm a witch. I promise I won't say it ever again." They didn't call my mom. And they were very, very specific. "Do not talk about this stuff anymore. Keep it to yourself. You can pretend all you want to when you're at your house. You can talk about spells and frogs and all of those things when you're in your bedroom at home, but don't talk about it at school." So I left dejected sad. And it's funny because they were so concerned. Like, there was only two choices though. Choice number one, I'm an 8-year-old kid and I have an active imagination. I read too many books and I don't know how to keep my mouth shut. Or two, I am actually a witch and I'm really gonna be doing all of these horrible, evil things to these other kids around me. But considering that I didn't get my Hogwarts letter, I'm fairly certain that I'm the first part. Yeah, that was my embarrassing story, and it's so funny looking back because when I was like, man, I told lots of lies when I was a kid. I was a liar. I always was telling stories, and I think that like as kids, you want to come off way cooler than you really are, so you start, you know, telling people that you have flying squirrels as pets and you have a 4-story house and that you have horses and, you know, you are really rich. You know, just as examples. I don't know. I think it would have, if I could go back in time, I would love little me. I think that we would have a lot of fun because I still have a pretty active imagination, and I think now I have the means to actually make some of those things actually happen for me. Not the magic part, but but you know, the dreams that I had when I was a little kid, I now have the opportunity to do all of those things, and you know, I don't know if I would give any advice to my younger self. I mean, maybe to my 16-year-old self, but not to my 8-year-old self. I would tell her, keep doing what you're doing, kid. My mom's probably gonna watch this, she'll be like, yeah, I remember those stories. And I still get made fun of for talking about that stuff, so. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I guess that's it for today. Join us next time when Jordan tells us about the time that she jumped into a ceiling fan. Goodbye and good night. Guess you got a letter. Guess you got a letter. Guess I got a letter. Wonder who it's from.